All right, we are live.
Aloha, everybody. You are going to start your morning with the Cam Cam. Hopefully, you are enjoying him as much as we are.
Well, that would help if your phone was listening.
Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the Cam Cam as much as we are. He's pretty darn cute. Aloha, everybody. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Betsy. Yes, we are partial. We are his parents. Of course, we think he's cute. Yes. Yeah, he woke up he usually wakes up in a really happy mood, so, and he is still in a happy mood. So, yes. Can everybody hear me okay? Everything sounding all right? Everybody's enjoying seeing Cameron, I see. Yay! Yes. And yes, he is a very good baby. We feel very lucky. When he has the occasional fussy time, like yesterday he was pretty fussy, but it's really not that bad in the scheme of things. So we feel very, very fortunate. Good. I'm glad it's sounding okay. Great. I don't know if any of you guys can actually hear Cameron on occasion. He likes to chit chat too. He's very chatty. Good. I'm glad everybody can hear. Yes, welcome to another one of our sound check or tech rehearsals. It's really great to be able to do these because we can chat with some of the artists for a little bit longer, as well as we get to just make sure everything's working. Because that's always very important. It really helped us for our first Money Fest. And thank you guys so much. Many of you joined us for that one. And we are thrilled to have you back joining us for this. This will be much shorter, so you won't have to worry about necessarily bringing snacks like you will on May 2nd. Also, for those of you that don't know, on the 16th, I believe that was Thursday, we did a sponsored workshop for the Twin Cities Ukulele Club. And that went really well, and it was live streamed, and you can watch it actually. It's on our YouTube channel, the recording. I don't have the files ready yet for everybody to download from that. I'm going to be working on that right after this live stream to ensure that we can get that up and running so that people can go to our website and download the materials that I'm going to actually kind of rewrite and make a little tidier because I tend to write so fast. And yes, Aunt Lisa, Cameron does have the hiccups. Oh yes, and he is wearing one of his Star Wars onesies that Uncle Kurt and Auntie Kit got him. I'm so glad. Oh, hi Leslie. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the festival. For us, it was so much fun, and we're going to end up doing the other one on May 2nd, and we are so excited. There's so many amazing artists that we're going to have, including 3 that we're featuring today, which will be Marlowe, Little Rev, and Petey Mack. So we're very excited.
Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about that May 2nd event. That's going to be our last mini fest in that kind of format.
Yeah.
Just because it's so hard. It's so hard. But we will still be doing some live events, just in a much smaller form factor, much more manageable. Let me put him back up there. Okay, there
Yes.
you go. But we loved, kind of bringing that feeling of a physical festival to everyone, and I can't thank you guys enough who had the ability to help donate. Yeah, Cameron. Help donate to the artists and to the event. Thank you guys so much. It
Yeah.
really was such a fun day for all of us involved. And we're still kind of recovering. I'm still going through hundreds of emails from that day. So if
Yes.
I haven't emailed you back, please be patient with me and get into it.
Yes, thank you guys so much. We really do love getting to read all of your really sweet notes, and we will be going through all of them. To us, it's important to be able to write you back just to say thank you. Also, thank you so much for all of your donations to the artists. They are so appreciative, and many of you actually went to the sponsors and made orders. And thank you so much for supporting those businesses. We really do appreciate that. And it's just, oh goodness, Cameron, I think I know what I'm going to be doing. I don't know if the sound picks that up, but somebody's going to be having, I'm going to be changing somebody very soon. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think the GoPro, let me mute the GoPro mic for a second, and that might solve some of the echo that you've been hearing. Again, we're all kind of in the same room, so it's been a struggle to really kind of confine all of the different audio sources so that we don't have as much bleed. But we're
But yeah, I think once
we're
we
working
turn
on
off the GoPro, I bet you that will go
it.
away.
Yes. But again, this is why we do these little tests. His baseline.
Yes, Cameron is the bass player. Maybe he plays tuba. That might be a better way of putting it.
Now, so for the game plan for today, we want to do. We're gonna do a little bit of talking, like a little mini lesson, but less technique based and more on the mental side of things, about kind of finding your priorities, how to practice. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. It's something that was really important to me, that I talked to our artist work students about earlier in the year, to kind of plan out your year, plan out your different goals, so that you can make sure to hit them rather than always being distracted by the new song or new technique of the week. Sometimes that is fun, but you don't see as many gains going that route. So we'll talk a little bit of that. We will have a little chat, which I'm so excited about, as Sarah said, with Marlo, Little Rev, and Petey Mack. Yeah, it's going to be a fun day. Thank you guys again for joining us as we are still kind of getting things more efficient, a little bit better here and there. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so let's talk first. Are there any questions that I can answer before we get started? Well, I love the hat too, but it's literally because I have the craziest hair right now, and I'm not as brave as
Quarantine
Brian.
hair.
I'm not as brave as Brian Tolentino to shave it off. So we'll see what happens. I might get a little agitated by May 2nd, so I might try to cut my own hair. We'll see. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah, see, even Cameron thinks it's a bad idea. Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, we love the UK so much. It's such a saddening thing to realize that we're not going to be able to visit this year, but
Yeah.
hopefully next year for sure.
Yeah, because we were hoping to visit Germany again as well as the UK, but I think we're just going to hold off until things get a little bit better. I was getting nervous about traveling with Cameron.
And Kim, the question about any chance you can print out materials sooner. We put the packet together literally the day or a couple days before, as soon as we get everything from the artists. I'm not gonna. It's been hard to kind of balance that because we know some artists are incredibly busy with other projects. So as soon as we get them all together,
Yeah.
we put it all in one, rather than saying, oh, 10% of it is done now and 20% then later, and then you have to keep going back and seeing if you have the updated version. So that's why it is how that is.
So we get it done as quickly as we can. So I have a
Yes.
feeling that we're going to be able to get it done earlier this time, because I think we did it, it was ready 3 days prior, I believe, for the last one. And I'm hoping we can actually get it done maybe the Monday or Tuesday prior, I'm thinking.
We're hoping that
And I'm
everyone
also going to
is
do
on board.
page numbers this time, because I know some
Yes.
people gave us feedback on that, which is great. So
Germany, we love Germany.
we'll do that as well.
How many product advertisements can you wear? Yes, I get 5 cents for this. No. It's funny. I haven't bought like new clothes in like 8 years, because I just wear a lot of like festival shirts that we've been a part of, like the Allegheny. This is Holly Ukulele upstairs at the store here in San Diego.
And of course, one of our favorite places we visited, Allegheny,
Yes.
for that festival. So, oh, Mark Revison is calling me. Would you mind taking me off of the thing?
Oh, Okay.
Hello.
Now, let's see.
No heart.
But Kim, thank you for bringing that up. I mean, so just as a heads up of like how much behind the scenes work is going on is that we're coordinating with all the artists to get, uh, uh, we'll find out first how they want to participate, and then we kind of look at the breakdown and try to plan the kind of groove of the festival. You know, especially when we know it's going to be 6 to 7 hours long. How do you pace it, and group it, and then we worry about which artists are going to join us for the live stream portion of it. You know, to do the live interviews, and it all depends on, you know, time zones and if they have a little one. You know, so there's so many little things like that, plus the PDFs, plus. Uh, Creating all the graphics. So I mean, there's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff besides even like the tech stuff that we have been doing our best to keep things as organized and efficient as possible. Oh my gosh, but it's fun. It's I mean
We
we
love doing
yeah
it.
we
That's the thing.
yeah
Like
we
it's fun to do.
yeah, and you gotta let me know 'cause I had to unmute you.
Oh,
So
sorry.
you're good now.
Yeah. No, it's fun. We like doing all of that stuff. Even though it can be time consuming, it is a lot of fun.
Okay, now, oh, also near the end of the stream, we have three new artists that we're gonna announce for the festival that I'm so excited about. Yeah, it's gonna be great. So if you can stick around to the end, if not, yeah, I'm sure you'll see an announcement on Facebook.
Yes, and this is not pre-recorded. This is recorded, so we'll be able to. You can watch it again later too.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to start chat? Because everything sounds good, right? Everybody. That was the consensus heard, except for the little bit of echo that we think is coming from Cam.
Well, I already turned off that
Oh,
camera, sorry.
perfect.
Or
The
that
cam is off.
audio.
Awesome.
All right. So, with that in mind, one of the reasons why we had the artists that we had for the last festival was we wanted to kind of expose many people to just completely different styles, because there's no one way to play the ukulele, right? And as you saw, like, you know, some of the stuff Brian was doing, he's an incredible rhythm player, you know, but it's not just, you know, but he adds all these. But there's all these different things. You could be like a amazing soloist that we saw, like Andrew Molina. You can be, you know, there's a fantastic singer songwriter. You look at, you know, Aaron and Nicole Kime, incredible performers, and you know they're not doing super fancy, fast, flashy playing. You know, but it speaks from the heart, and that's their style. One of the things we posed to our artist work students this year was think about what kind of ukulele player, what kind of musician you want to be. You know, because there's so many different ways that you can use this instrument. And so, um, you know, part of it is really finding your goals, finding what you want to do with the instrument. Not only does that help you build, how to, you know, figure out how to start doing the things to get you there, but it also gives you a much more direct thing to focus on when you're practicing so that you're not kind of distracted. Again, as I know the irony as I say this, but again, with YouTube and everything, you know, it's very easy to start working on something and squirrel, and then you chase that for a little bit. Oh, squirrel, and you chase that for a little bit. There, there's always, you know, something that can always distract. So we want to make sure we still keep pushing forward, even with some of the distractions. Of course, that makes it fun, but you do want to take the time if you're looking to really push yourself. Take the time to really think about what you want to focus on. What kind of player do you want to be? Do you want to have the uke really just back up your voice? Do you want to be able to do fills and solos when the time comes? Do you want to do chord melody things if you're not a singer? You know, do you want to be able to just have this as an extension of your voice? So, you know, with that in mind, you know, especially with the May 2nd, we have even more diversity in the artists, May 2nd. And so part of it is we want you to think about, what styles you enjoy. What kind of things did you want to emulate down the road? You know, so
And the other thing, too, to add to what Craig is saying is it can be really easy to lose sight of your goals. So, one thing that there was an article I wrote a couple of years ago, I think for Ukulele Magazine, where I mentioned, write down your goals and then take a look at them. I say take a look at them every day. Like before you go to bed, take a look at the note card that you wrote your goals on, whether it's yearly goal, weekly goal, monthly goals, but read it so that you stay focused, because it's really easy with you, as Craig mentioned, with YouTube being able to, you see all the side videos going, oh, I could be trying to do this or this, and easily distracted. Well, same thing with just life in general. If you, especially we have little Cameron, I'm having to do a lot more writing down of things just to keep my focus, because I spend so much time having to quickly leave whatever it is that I'm working on. So I found, and I did this even before him, where I just found that if I wrote it down and read it, it would help keep my focus so that I would then progress a lot faster, because I knew where I wanted to be headed. Kind of think of it like a map, you know. It's fun to go on road trips where you vaguely know where you're going to go, but it's also fun to do road trips where you have things planned and you know where your stops are going to be. So making a road map for where you want to go is definitely something that I highly recommend.
now for Ron Dennis's question about is there a packet to download for the show, I made a graphic just for you that could go boop.
Now, the packet is not ready yet, so don't worry about downloading it yet. I'm hoping that we'll have it ready Monday, Tuesday. If you're on our mailing list, we'll email you when it is ready. We'll also post on Facebook and all of that great stuff. I'm going to go check on Cameron.
All right. All right. So, with that in mind, part of what, again, I wanted to bring up today was prioritizing. If you're wanting to be a stronger rhythm player for the group or for yourself, timing is incredibly important. Transitions are incredibly important. When you're looking at your left hand, when you're going through chords like C, F, and G7, are you picking up your hands every single time? Or are you anticipating to create these very efficient movements? Again, I love the analogy. Someone says it looks like you're just floating across the strings when you play. And part of it is because, we're trying to keep as close to the strings as possible for a lot of it so that we're as efficient as possible for the speed as well. So you don't see us doing, a lot of this. When I first started playing, I was always... this constant resetting. So part of that is, okay, let's look at efficiency and chord transitions. Second, it's all about tone, right? So whether you're using your index finger, make sure you're coming down with the nail, up with the flesh to have that two distinct sounds. If you're looking for a different style, you can also use the fatty part of your thumb. To create more of this kind of thuddy, mellower, thicker sound. So there's all different ways to kind of create different tones in your playing. And actually, I had one question that was actually asked a bunch in emails, and I'll let me go through it real quick. Where on the strings are you supposed to strum? And as funny as it sounds, I mean, it seems like a very simple question, right? But a lot of people don't even think about it. And for those who those of you who are in my or our Berlin retreat, remember our famous quote is always, "It depends," So again, imagine this is a tightrope, all right? And we have a tree here, and we have a tree here, and we have that rope that's tied across. Where the rope is tied is going to be incredibly taut, all right? As we get toward the middle of that tightrope, it gets way more wobbly. There's way less resistance. That totally affects the sound. So if you want something, well, let me do this first. I'm just going to do the same exact pressure across the strings, starting from the end, and you'll see how much that changes the tone. See how it got way more mellow as we got toward the middle. Again, all of that affects everything. So sometimes you'll see, Jake kind of dig in down here, or he'll strum in the middle for a more mellow sound. But all of that comes into play. So the answer of it depends. It really is what kind of sound you're going after. What kind of tone are you trying to achieve for that particular run? You'll see us manipulate that throughout one song even. We're not sticking to just one part of it. But already it's the nuances, it's the tiny things that you use these practices for. Yes, playing songs are fantastic and great and fun, but try to have a deliberate reason for that practice. Try to have something that you're focusing on to make those practice sessions even more efficient so you can make the most of your time. Usually we don't have all this time to sit at home and practice, right? So we have to be able to maximize these practice sessions. All right. Now, second thing is when you find something that is giving you trouble or that you're working on, again, I'm going to call this is your TV moment. This is your TV technique, in the sense that I did a lot of practicing while watching TV. It was like SWAT Cats back then, I think, and other cartoons. But if there's something tricky, like let's say, I would just sit down and do that for 15, 20 minutes straight. That's it. I mean, and doing anything for that long, it's not as easy as it sounds. But by the end of it, everything is just there, And so let's try that run, because that's a fun run. This is based on a G7 chord, and a lot of people play G7 because a lot of people play in the key of C. So what we're gonna do a little. Let's see. Ta-da, we'll do this. All right, so this will be really quick. We'll do. I think I need to go to there. Maybe. My jittery coffee fingers. I'm so lucky there has it auto snap. Woohoo! Okay, I'm not going to fill in. You can see the lines. I'm not going to fill in the others. So we have our G7 here. Oh, I forgot they're in pink. That's okay. Oops. Now, that's our normal G7, correct? Just for giggles, we're going to take that G7. I'm going to show you first before I write it down. We're going to take that G7. And my artist work students know this one a lot because this is something that's so easy to do. So this is our small G7, right? 0, 2, 1, 2. Now, let's go up 2 frets. So don't play it yet, but let's go up 2 frets. Now, these 2 guys at the end, let's extend it 1 fret. So it looks like we're going from the small G7 here, 2 frets up, and then extend. So we're at 0, 5, 3, 5. One more time. From small G7, up 2 frets, and then extend those bottom 2 fingers. And we're going to call this the gigantic G7. So small G7, up 2 and extend, gigantic G7. Small G7, gigantic G7. Small G7, gigantic G7. All right, try that for just a little bit, and I'm going to write out the gigantic G7. Oops, I gotta move it there. Okay, close enough. So we have our small G7 that's shown by the pink, and the gigantic G7 that's shown by the blue. Now, that in itself is pretty cool. So let's say we're doing C, F, and G7. 2, 3, 4. C, F, G7. 2, 3, 4. Now we can do C, F, G7, gigantic G7. Again, C, F, small G7, up to large or gigantic G7. Or we can go back and forth. And already, we're still playing over that G7, but it's having that motion that really starts to add variety and a little bit of ear candy, I guess. Now, we're going to make it a little bit harder, just a little bit. This time, we're going to add 2 pinkies. Let me demonstrate first before I write it. Let's go up to that gigantic G7 for a second. So 0, 5, 3, 5. Now, this might be a stretch for some people, but I want you to practice this. Take your pinky finger and stretch to the 7th fret. So again, from gigantic G7 to pinky on the 7th fret. Now, pinky off, pinky on, pinky off, pinky on, pinky off, pinky on, pinky off. Now, we're going to replicate that with the small G7. Pinky this time will be manipulating the 3rd fret. Pinky on, pinky off, pinky on, pinky off, pinky on, pinky off, pinky on, pinky off. So, we can do something like this. Gigantic G7 with pinky, pinky off, small G7 with pinky, pinky off, and to a C chord. So we have, not too bad, right? But again, this is exactly why, I would spend time in front of the TV. Not too bad? Alright, so let me add those pinkies in. Yep, go ahead.
So somebody had mentioned, oh, but where's the B note in that chord for the big G7? And one thing to keep in mind is that, yes, it is missing that note. However, it has the flatted 7th note, which is that F, which is actually a bit more important because that's the note that gives that G chord that dominant 7 quality. So just something to keep in mind that yes, we are missing one of the 4 notes that does make up that G7 chord, but that's all right. I mean, when we play uke, especially if you get into some of the more, what's the word I'm looking for? Some of the extensions and things like 9s and 13s, you're going to end up losing notes. A lot of times, the root note even. So it's just something that does happen.
As a quick example, many of you know who that Hawaiian D7 2020 is an actual D. There's no D in there.
Yeah.
So it's a rootless chord, but the what makes that dominant sound is that flat 7 or that C note there. So that's why it's more important to have that there instead of, having a D note thrown in there. But this is the easy and hard part about the ukulele is that we are limited to those 4 strings. So that's, at first it's a blessing, right? It's very easy to manipulate 4 fingers, 4 strings. But as we start diving into some of these other chords, we have to be much more choosy about which parts of the chord we're allowing to ring. All right, now I have to make sure we have time for our guests today. So let me switch things around. I'm glad things are sounding and looking good. Let's see. Okay, let me put that there. Ta-dum. All right. So again, we are using Skype for the infusion of our remote guests. And let me double check on let me double check on who was supposed to be our first guest today. I'm so excited. This is going to be so much fun. And again, for those of you who are parents, I give you so much credit. I know it'd be different if we were able to have family over to help during this time, but it's been you do what you do, and that's been the hardest part I think about planning these huge festivals, was that sometimes your work hours that you're allowed to in the day are just 2 to 3 hours if he's having a bad day. It's just it's so hard to kind of have a consistent schedule at the moment to work. All right, let's see. 10:30. It is gonna be Petey Mack. Woohoo! All right, so let me see if I see Petey. Oh, I see Petey. All right, so Pete, just as a reminder, you're not gonna be able to see us via Skype, just in the stream itself. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, hello, hello. All right, let me see. I do not see a video source from you. There we go. All right, let me throw you in the stream right now. We're gonna do this and then this.
I'm a little worried, my friend,
Oh, and actually, let's try this. I'm gonna switch this. Out of curiosity, what kind? And this is exactly why we do these tests.
Sure.
Okay, now hold on right there. Let me switch things around. Because I could extend, let me extend this guy to fill. Perfect, 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 perfect.
So you can see me right now.
I can see, we can all see you right now.
So how's my hair? Is it okay today, or should I, do I need to go check things real quick? Or
It's beautiful. You look beautiful. Absolutely
oh,
fantastic. Now,
jeez.
oh, how come that switched like that? Oh, out of curiosity, what are you using for your webcam right now?
I'm using my phone. Do you think I should use a computer next time?
Maybe so, but let me switch because it's getting mixed. Hold on real quick. Let me see this. Ta-da. There we go. Now, do me a favor and point it down just a hair,
Yes, sir.
if you can.
I can. Just a hair. Oh, is that better?
There we go. That looks great. Awesome. And for those of you who are watching, my frame will disappear in a little bit while we usually let him do his thing. But how does that look?
So my question is
Yes.
what today's practice, so we can take a look. Did you want me to do anything, or am I supposed to just look good on screen, or what's going on for today? Because
Well, you
we
always
don't.
look good on screen, but I would love to actually hear you play a song. You can either make it a play along or you can actually just play. I actually love your slower songs. Like as much
Ah.
fun as it is to like get everyone up and going. Wait, and before we even do that, I wanted to just say thank you from both
You're
Sarah
too
and
sweet.
Cameron and I for being such an incredible beacon of light and positivity during this time. And that we
Y'all are too sweet. Y'all are
wholeheartedly
too
mean
sweet.
that. It's easy to see in person when we're around you, but it's even easy to see you coming through the screen and wanting to just make people happy. And thank you for that. And it's not, it's not a job that you're doing. It's not, it really is from the bottom of your heart, and from just that want to help, so thank you so much for that.
Oh man, you're going to get me all emotional.
Oh no.
Honestly, uh, I have my job. I do 40 hours a week,
Yeah.
and my heart goes out to all the people right now that are just having such a tough time. And this was the only thing that I thought, or way that I thought I could do. I could reach out and like these sing-alongs that I do every day. This will be the 35th day that I do it, and
Wow.
it's the only thing that I thought I could do. And I mean, I can't get out. I mean, I'm working. I'm still going and doing my job, but I can't go out and see my friends the way I normally would. Nobody can, and it's a new environment. And when I sat down and I said, the only thing that I can do is try to see if I can throw some love back out there and do a sing along, something that I can do, and then in the meantime, see what happy things I can get on the internet and bring out for people on Facebook, anything to get their minds away from what's going on right now. And so thank you for being so kind about everything. I feel like it's the only thing I can do. And I also feel like when the time comes, when it's all said and done, I'll just back out of the way and, go back to being my usual self, which is pretty goofy to begin with. But I got to tell you too, sitting here watching y'all, I have guys out there in the world. I just got to let you know, I have sat in on both of theirs on the classes. They were at Strumming Man a few years ago, and I got to enjoy a little bit of their workshops there. When we were in England, I got to enjoy their workshops there. If you take 10 minutes, no matter what they're teaching, they could be teaching you how to fry an egg. They literally put their passion into it, and you can see it. And you're going to learn something. Like just now with the whole G7 and that was incredible. And just that 5 minutes is probably worth 3 hours of me sitting here trying to teach you something. But they're so awesome, and they're so passionate. And for them to be out here and doing what they're doing right now, for everybody, so they can have this little mini fest and stuff, it's fabulous. It's taking a whole afternoon and letting y'all join in and get the enjoyment of sitting somewhere in a festival, but you're at your own home. Like me, I don't have any pants on right now. I'm just just telling you. I wish I could pull some I wish I could pull some red shoes up like Andrew did and say, "Hey, here's my red shoes." Maybe I'll get a pair of pants for next time. Say, "Hey, here's some pants," But no, it's absolutely wonderful, and I want to say thank y'all. I want to thank y'all so much, because I thoroughly enjoyed this last fest that you had. I stayed as much on as I could. I loved every single minute of it. And part of my job at work is I make awards. I'm going to be sending you an award for the best laugh in the world. It's going to happen when all this is said and done. The screen would fade away. You could not see Craig. And then there would be this laugh, and it made my day. Oh, I loved every minute of it. So,
I hate it. I hate it. Again, the reason why I hate my laugh so much is that it makes me very easy to find for Sarah.
So it's like the proverbial cowbell. There's a cow out in the field somewhere, but it's your laugh. And she's like, he's over in that side of the house.
Yeah, at festivals, I cannot hide from her. She always just... Oh my gosh.
Guess what I got, by the way?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do this or not, but I'm going to do this. You see it?
Yes. We just got ours in the mail too. So I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but
did you see the thing I'm pointing at for you down here?
Yeah.
I think his shoes are as famous as he are, don't you?
I think so. It's Andrew. I love working with him because he is one of the younger guys in this kind of realm, and I love
he's really making a name for himself.
Enthusiasm
really,
and just
it's always making a name for himself. And I'm telling you, it's just fantastic.
Can I say though that I felt like Jay's bass solo stole the
Oh
entire
my
festival?
God, yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Everybody
You're
just like,
right.
what? I didn't care about the red shoes anymore. I was so fixated on Jay. I was blown away. I was
Well, and because I think part of it is, and I'll be honest with you. So if you like me, I pretty much live on my phone, and the bass line does not really come through on a phone.
Mm,
And so that particular day when you were doing that, I was using the iPad with my headset, and I actually got to hear all the detail of it. It was
yeah.
fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely think that that's what I mean. If you want to say it was a show stealer, I agree with you. You say you want me to sing a song? I
Yes,
mean, you want a slow
please.
song? A slow song,
I
or
would love a slow song.
man? Now you're really bringing it out because now I'm gonna have to because I you want Hawaiian or you want I have my technical manual down here, so I
Whatever is making your heart happy right now. When you turn to
well
that page and
I will tell you what's making my heart happy. I've been doing keto for 2 months, and my wife this morning figured out how to make cinnamon rolls, and I'm dude, I'm happy all day. I don't care. I mean, literally, they could come and tell us they're taking the house, and I would be okay with it right now.
wait, did you
When
say
you
Kino? What is what
keto
is
diet.
keto? What is that?
Keto is basically it's high fat and proteins and a lot of vegetables and things like that. And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get rid of this. Is what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
Mm.
And so she's basically you're not eating any sugar. And so what it does is once you start losing weight, but I'm a sugar junkie. And
Mm.
I mean, I'm an absolute sugar junkie. And today she came in, she said, I'm going to make cinnamon rolls. Well, I haven't had sugar in
Oh my gosh.
however long it's been. And so, like, literally, I could run circles right now. I'm so happy. The
She just
only thing
wanted you
would
to
be
clean the
better is,
house. That's all.
well,
You're gonna be just
well, that's next. I'll
on
be
this kick.
vacuuming next. She,
Yeah.
she, 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 she was vacuuming. I'm looking through my book here. I'm sorry. I wanted to find something that I thought would be really cool. And there's I don't know that it's in this particular book. But she was graced, and what I mean by graced is she was vacuuming a few months back, and she calls me in tears because she uh, because she hurt her back
Oh no.
vacuuming, and I
Oh
think
no.
it was literally nothing wrong with her back. She just figured out how to get me to vacuum all the time now, and I know she's listening in there, so.
Smart,
um,
smart.
this is not necessarily a slow song, but this is one of my favorite songs, and I'll tell you why it's one of my favorite songs right now, guys. If you're out there, my book is always free. It will always be free. I found out a long time ago. I used to try to play out different books, um, and we would have if all of you that have groups out there, you may know this. Initially, when you have a group and you want people to sing together, what do? You have to have generic music so that everybody can play it, or universal. And so what happens is when you first start forming a group, you have people bring things from the internet, and everybody has their own copy. They all have different keys, and so we started playing out of a book together, and that was fine. Except as I played, I realized the people would come in and they couldn't afford a book, and so me being the guy that I am, I would buy them a book, and so we could all play together because that was what was important for me was all of us to have fun together. And well, then the very next thing that happened was someone came in and I bought them a book because they couldn't afford it, and I literally offended them because that was you don't buy me something, and I don't appreciate it. You bringing attention to the fact that I can't afford a book. So I had visited a little festival in Silver Creek, and which is a wonderful festival. And they arrange their music up there. Charles Finch arranges their music, and I liked it so much. I found out I could come home and I could take a single page that I have arranged myself and hand it out every week, and nobody would be offended by a piece of paper. And after that first year, I realized I had about 60 of them. So I put a book together, and I realized from that point on, whenever I put the book out on the internet for everybody to have, I wanted it to always be free so that anybody wanted it anywhere they could have it.
Hmm.
Uh, So that's why I did it originally. So if you want one of my books, get my book and join me in one of these. I do a play along every day. And for the time being, I'm doing one every day. But this is one of my favorite songs out of the book, and it's from my childhood because the words mean so much. And even though it's got a fun entry, listen to the lyrics on this because it's it actually captures how you should be feeling. People have a perception of perfection on singing in public. They think that they have to be the next rising star to play, but it's not true. You just got to get out and do your best and have fun. And like me, you might have people throw food at you every now and then, but it's the mission. It's the mission to get out there and play. But the point is, you will have this overwhelming sense of joy if you're out there trying to play for your neighbors right now. And the good news is they can't run away from you. Okay, okay. But anyway, so the words of the song are this: sing a song, sing out loud, sing out strong, sing of good times,
Mhm.
not bad, sing of happy, not sad. And I think that's a great message for right now. But it's not real slow. But I want you to listen to this. La 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 la. Oh la 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 la. You ready? Sing, sing a song, sing out loud. Oh, sing out strong. Sing of good things, not bad. Sing of happy, not sad. Oh, sing a song. Make it simple to last your whole life long. Well, don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to sing. To sing, sing a song. Oh la 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 la. Oh la 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 la. Oh sing a song. Let the world sing along. Sing of love there could be. Oh, sing of you and for me. I'll sing a song. Make it simple to last your whole life long. Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to sing. To sing a song. Just sing a song. Oh la 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 la. Oh la 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 la. Yes, sir.
Awesome.
So
Thank you
my
so much.
so my question to you is: I saw somebody say something about it sounds a little muffled. Maybe I need to invest in a different microphone for next time. You think?
I can definitely help you out with that. We'll talk after this. Yeah, that's exactly why we're doing these little tech rehearsals. So that's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, yeah.
So
Because
so do Chee and Maisel send out like microphone coupons? Is what you do? Is you?
well, it's funny. So in the past 3 weeks, I've worked with hours with different artists, kind of helping them gear up for a lot of these live stream things, and I'll also be doing a talk, like almost like a TED talk type of thing for the Australian Ukulele Teacher Association, something like that. I forget the exact title, but it's been so intriguing. Uh, to be able to help people in this side of it. So I have a whole list of options that I'll send you to look at and everything. As well as, one of the big things too is that the microphone on the earbuds is not the best. So what we might
That's
do
true.
is just for the talking portion, we might have you with the headphones, and then we'll probably have you unplug and use your actual iPhone mic, which tends to
Sure.
be better than the headset mic.
Would it be better for you if if maybe I made a video of my segment and then you talked to me and then we did the video? Would that be better for you? I
We
could
do,
put it in a Dropbox.
we do have a lot of people that are doing that as well. But as long as we get to have a little bit of live chat, because that to me is the most fun thing about these festivals. Like
I
I
agree.
just don't want to be a video DJ kind of thing.
No, I'm happy to do it
Yeah.
live. I just didn't know, and because that's what I do all the time. I enjoy the interaction myself. I'm a people critter,
Yes.
a
Well,
social critter. I love to talk, and you can tell because I probably ran you 30 minutes over right now. So, uh, but I'm happy to do whatever you want. I just want to do whatever's easiest for you, and I want it to be best for the people that are participating. So, if I need to get a microphone, and if you want to, maybe sometime during the week we can talk, and you tell me what you think's best.
Exactly. I'll definitely send you an email right after this. But Sarah and I do want to say thank you again so much for
Uh,
all that you do for the ukulele world. And just
Y'all are too generous. You're too generous, my
no,
friend.
it really is obvious. It's so obvious to see. And again, we're lucky to spend that time in Florida with you. We're lucky to spend that time in Huddersfield with you, and we only hope as things get better that we get to spend more and more time with you as well. So
Well, see, and I told you before, I made you the offer. You know, whenever you're at a festival, if you need me to come just to be a babysitter, me and the missus would love that. So we are cool with that. They can bring us to a festival just so we can be babysitters. So just remember, of course, we really don't we really don't want your child to have a southern dialect. That would probably be wrong. But you know, if we can get them to say y'all every now and then, that would be
oh my
good.
gosh, I need Sarah to share this story with you
which
about my uncle
Uh,
that lives in.
So Craig has an uncle and auntie who live in Huntsville, Alabama, and they came to see us at a gig, and it was very fascinating to hear a Southern pidgin accent. Where we were at a barbecue place, and he was like, "Oh, y'all like that white kind gravy?" We were like, "Wait, what? What? Hold
yeah.
on," because I mean he's lived in
Is
Huntsville.
there any other kind other than white? I don't
I
know. I mean,
know,
what's wrong with you people?
It was
I
awesome.
know. Uh, well, thank you so
Okay.
much, Petey, for joining us
You're
for
welcome.
this bit of liveness. We'll chat more, but yes, I think we definitely want to have you live if you're
Now,
willing to
now
do it
again,
live.
PD, for
Oh, I
those of
am.
you
I
who
am.
don't know, what times are your daily jams and how can they find you?
Okay, so my daily jams I've been doing, they're at 1 p.m. Central Daylight Standard Time, and which is almost in about 5 minutes for me. So I've been doing that every day. And if they want to find my book, anybody wants my book, you don't have to jam with me. You don't even have to be a ukulele player. But it's Petey Mack, PeteyMack at Weebly, WEEBLY.com. It's under arrangements. It's the February edition. And I will put out a little disclaimer. I'm desperately arranging more music as I can because this will be the second time we have played through the book. And we're doing almost 10 songs a day, and there's only 300 songs in the book. And so we'll start over in probably maybe 7, 8 days. And I'm trying to get new songs. So when if this isn't all where we're out doing our thing again at that time, that I'll have a different book. I'll have more songs for people to play. So come get you a free book, have some fun with me. Please, 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 please support your artist. If y'all didn't see this earlier, I am really proud of this right now. This is my and notice the shoes. This is my bud here. This is Andrew. Andrew and Jay. Literally love them like family, like I love the both of y'all. Y'all are the nicest
Oh,
people in the world. And I don't have a will made out to you yet, but you never know. It may happen.
God bless you.
Anyway,
Oh
thank
my
y'all so
gosh.
much. Y'all enjoy the rest of the day.
Great to
Thank
see you,
you.
Pete.
Have a
We'll
great
see you soon.
jam.
Thank you.
Y'all take care. Thank you.
Oh, gosh, I love getting to hang out with Petey. He is just the best. and his laughter just it gets you going, and he's just a ray of sunshine. So definitely join him at the jam. It's a ton of fun, and I love when I'm scrolling through Facebook. If I see him, I'll stop by for a while and hang out with him just to get myself in a good mood. So up next, I believe we have Marlo coming up. She is a phenomenal artist, very strong female ukulele player. The first time we actually spent time with her was at I think it was called UkeFest at McCabe's with Heidi Swedberg, Daniel Ward. That was our last gig prior to the baby in November of last year. But I believe Marlo's originally from Michigan and is just a very accomplished player. She moved to LA recently, and she had an album up for the Nahoku Awards, and she also is up for a Grammy, I believe, this year. But I'll let her talk to you guys about that soon. I think she might need to wear headphones because I think I hear a little bit of an echo. Or turn down the laptop volume if she has headphones on. Perfect. Awesome. Because I think Craig almost has her ready to go.
Yeah, see, this is exactly why we
we love these tech rehearsals.
Fantastic.
Yes, it's awesome.
All right, let's see. Let me see if I can add her.
We're going to try to patch her in now. I believe she's going to be performing on May 2nd, and it's going to be a live performance, which is pretty exciting.
Make this smaller.
Awesome. So Craig is just doing a little bit of
Oh
housekeeping.
no, we lost video.
Oh no.
Oh,
There she is.
Oh no.
There we go.
Yay.
Hi, Marlo.
Oh, there went away again.
Hello.
Oh, there you are.
Oh my gosh, so great to see you.
Good to see you guys too. How
I
are you
gotta-
doing?
We're doing great. I gotta say, I was finally able to have some time, and we listened to your album like
Yes.
all yesterday.
It was
It was like our
great.
backing track while we worked. It was awesome. Fantastic job
Thank
with that.
you.
Yeah.
And that one came out, was that a couple years ago or last year?
It was November. I want to say 2018. Yeah, it was November
Yeah.
2018. It came out.
Really nice job.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love the full orchestration and everything too. Like it was really complimentary. And, because sometimes when you get fully produced albums, you can lose the uke, but you never lost the instrument. It was really awesome.
Thank you. Well, I owe it to. A lot of those people that recorded with me were people that I went to school
Oh,
with.
wow.
I went to a really small music school in Minnesota, so they they all did a phenomenal job. I kind of let them take the reins of their own parts, and they compliments to the songs.
Now, out of curiosity, what kind of camera are you using today?
Currently, I'm using my laptop, but I'm gonna hook up. I'm waiting to get the cable for it, but I'm gonna use my Canon when we actually live stream, so the quality is a little bit better.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, for some reason,
Yeah.
it's like switching sizes on me.
Oh no.
So let me. I'm not sure why that is, but I'll keep trying to
Keep you big.
I'll keep trying to keep you full screen if I can.
Weird.
I know. Okay. Now,
That's strange.
and once you
Oh, I
get
see what it's
your,
doing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. So I'll drag you back up to full screen, and we'll do a couple more tests before we go live on May 2nd as well. This is why I love doing these kind of tests before, especially there's already enough pressure already to kind of be on.
For sure. For
Now,
sure.
before we get started, so if you're watching the live stream too, you can kind of see where the picture-in-picture is.
Mm-hmm.
And that will only be there while we kind of chat. Once you're doing your thing, because I think you're one of the few artists who are performing live, which is awesome. I'm super excited for that. And I've been loving watching all your cool experiments on Facebook as well. That's been really fun to watch.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I try to push the limits of it when I can. Try not to go too crazy with it, but I've had so much free time. Just been trying to have fun.
Oh, that's been awesome. And now I finally put your little graphic up, and it's gonna be on your bottom right. So when we do the framing for the May 2nd thing, we'll try to not be blocking you if possible. So we'll kind of work with angles a little bit later. Now, Out of curiosity, what I know you have a big album coming out very very soon.
Yes, like 3 days, 2 days. I think it's 2 days. Yeah,
Uh,
Monday. So 3 days, I
Oh my
guess.
gosh, that's
It's
fantastic.
like new, but it's pretty much it's a remix. It's completely different from what like you guys had listened to. It's I took all the songs with again a lot of people I went to school with and other people that I just met along the way, and I remixed it into this pop, hip hop, R&B album. So my album is originally instrumental, but
Mhm.
I kind of had everyone remix it. I told them the stories behind each songs. They put lyrics to it, and it's been
Oh
a really
wow.
fun. Yeah, it's been a really fun thing to kind of listen to, and they're performing it from my perspective, but like to kind of hear their take on like my stories is really cool. So I'm very very excited to share
What a
it.
fantastic project. That's super cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, would you mind doing a little something for us, either a song or I would love to kind of hear you play and introduce you to the people who are watching at the moment.
Yes, absolutely. Let me make sure I'm all tuned up. Cool.
Now, out of
All right.
curiosity, on your tuner, is that little black thing a button or is that like a USB input for charging?
It's for charging. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
It is so
No
cool.
more
It's
dealing with.
seriously.
See, it's weird. That's what my eye gravitates towards. It's like, oh my gosh, please tell me that's a rechargeable.
It's
Oh,
so nice. It's so nice
No
because
more
like they always
dealing
have
with
the
those
most
I
batteries.
know.
yeah, the most inconvenient batteries to find too, I feel like.
Oh
So
my
I'm
gosh.
very happy with this rechargeable. It's from Kala, so it's just they're rechargeable and it folds down really nice. So I don't
Nice.
know. It's cool.
Well, especially with us with
Very cool.
Cameron, those are some of the
Those are a choking hazard.
yeah. So that's actually I
Yes.
might be buying like 30 of those.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I highly
I
recommend.
might have to give Kala an email or phone call later this week and be like, hey.
Yep. Those rechargeable those rechargeable tuners. Yes. Awesome. Cool. Are you guys good for me to start
Yeah,
Please,
I
I'm
playing?
think
sorry.
Should
so.
I'll
I
be quiet now. I'm sorry.
wait? No, you're good. You're good. You're good. We can talk more about the rechargeable
Yeah.
tuners. Cool. So this is off of my album. It's the first song. It's called A Pretty Orange Song. Just a fun, happy song that I've especially loved playing during the live streams just because I think at least it brings me a lot of joy. So I hope it brings everyone else some joy.
for sharing that
work.
with us. That was fantastic.
Thank you, thank you, thank
I
you.
I feel really, really fortunate that we got to see you play live at McCabe's. At that open mic, it was really awesome to get to see you there, and I'm so glad that we get to have you join us on May 2nd. It's going to be so, so cool. So it's
I'm super excited. I've been like telling everybody about it just because I tuned in the last festival and I just had my laptop going all day and I was tuning in here and there, and yes, it was cool.
yeah.
Now,
Very fun.
one of the things I want to talk about real quick is that I noticed one of your influences as Kale Gamiao.
Yes. Oh,
Now,
yes.
we can when we were
Yes.
listening to your album, there were so many parts where like, wow, that definitely is reminiscent of some of Kale's style, but you really did start to make it your own, which we're really happy to hear. You know, it's so cool. And what I love about his playing and your playing that you just showcased was there's no like secret technique that just makes you better for doing something. You're using very, entry level things like some of the hammer-ons and pull-offs, but you're using it in a way that really does make your style come out. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of these foundation techniques we use all the time. We just use them in a different form,
Totally.
maybe a little bit more speed or a combination of different techniques. But absolutely fantastic showcasing your writing and showcase and just being able to combine these different techniques and to create your style. So really fantastic job with that.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just on a call with Andrew last night, and I was just sharing with him. I mean, that's like how I learned ukulele was watching Clay, Andrew, and Jake, and everyone, and I just sat and paused like every
Yes.
millisecond of the video on YouTube and like watched every little movement, and yeah, so I owe it to them, I guess, for my technique. But yeah, as far as like you make a really good point with like a lot of those just foundational techniques. Yeah, they can just if as long as you just apply them and practice them and try to formulate your own style with them, it can make for some great jamming and
Yes, absolutely
songs.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially if you consider them like building your vocabulary, right? All those techniques, everyone has
Yes.
access to those, words or those
Hmm.
phrases, but it's how you say them, how you bring them alive that makes each artist different in that sense. Even though we're technically playing the same notes, we're technically playing the same, little runs in different ways, but it's how you approach them. So, again,
Absolutely.
we can't thank you enough for being a part of our May 2nd event.
Thank you
And
guys.
what we'll
Yeah.
probably do is we'll touch base once you get your camera gear set up, and we'll make sure everything is getting as
Cool.
smooth as possible because for us we want to make sure you guys look the best you can. So we'll always take the time to dial
For
things in.
sure.
And again, if you
I appreciate. Yeah, it's literally supposed to come in
oh
today.
nice.
I got a mail code for the Amazon hub locker, so I'm sure that's what it is. But
Nice.
yeah, so I will have it though for the next time.
Awesome. Now, are there any
Yeah.
perks for people that want to get in on the new album coming out, the remix?
So as right now, I'm just doing it as far as on like streaming services. I will have it on things like SoundCloud and Bandcamp as well. Um, so I will have like a master link that people can go to and they can kind of choose where they want to listen to
Nice.
it. But Monday, I am doing right on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. I'm gonna do a live stream listening party. So I'm gonna just sit through and
Nice.
if anyone wants to join, I'll be playing the songs from top to bottom, kind of talking about my friends that were part of the songs, what the songs are about, and yeah, we'll have like some Q&A stuff, and just have a good time and sit there and listen to some music. So I'm really excited for it. It'll be at 5 p.m. Pacific time, and yeah, I'll make sure I can get the links out. But I've been posting a countdown every day with little
Nice.
like snippets of what the songs sound like. So it has all the information there.
Well, we cannot wait to hear the
But
final product. Congratulations again on that, and
thank
we'll see each other before the second. But for everyone else, definitely look forward to Marlo's live performance May 2nd with us.
Woo woo.
Beautiful. Thank you guys again for having me be a part of this. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Of course, we're super excited. We will see you soon.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yes, awesome. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Aloha.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm so excited.
I am too. She is not only an amazing player, but a sweetheart as well. So I'm just so excited that we get to have her join us. So Craig is going to be calling up Mr. Mark Revison, also known as Little Rev. Now, one thing I want to share, and we'll probably talk about this too. Oh, would you mind flipping it?
Oh, yeah.
No worries. Unless people want to watch you dial, which is
know.
totally fine. So, Little Rev, he is an incredibly special person to us for multiple reasons. But the first mini fest was really born out of a post that he had made on Facebook. He had we had just had a whole bunch of cancellations and things,
Okay,
and
and actually, let's we'll include him in this while we talk
oh, okay,
about him,
so
and
then
we
I'll
can,
wait. I'll finish.
Hopefully, we can embarrass him a little bit.
Hey, Rev, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. So I was actually just talking about our inspiration for doing these mini fests, and the inspiration was actually you. You had
Come on.
yes,
No, no, I have
Yeah.
to add to we were drinking coffee and tea in the morning like we normally do.
Yep.
And you had this incredibly articulate post about what it's like being an artist during this time, and it really hit home. And we looked at each other and we said, we need to do something. You know, we need to just help our world that we're a part of, including other artists and including youth clubs and attendees. So it really was, this idea was born from that post that you made on Facebook.
Yeah, so thank you so much for speaking your mind and just bringing awareness, because it really does. It's amazing how just that one, dropping a stone into a pond, the ripple effect that happens.
but I
So
hope
thank you for that and for being our
Oh,
inspiration.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, it's moments like Corona and other things that Well, first of all, this is unprecedented in our lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife and I were talking about. I mean, I'm 51, and so never in my life have I ever had to been encouraged to stay in.
Right.
And just have to have that experience and keep a distance from people and all these different things that we're all doing. But it's an opportunity to share with people just how powerful music is. Because look at how what was their go-to, like what's your go-to, like as soon as something happened, everyone started picking up their instruments.
Yep.
And I'm talking about non-professionals, students, and the like, because it's cathartic.
Yeah.
Right. And gives us that that sense of place and a lot of other things that come along with music. But yeah, it's important to try to serve other people. I sometimes get myself into trouble because I want to help everybody all at once, and then I can fry myself out too. So
Yeah.
it's good. The Japanese have a great proverb, and it says, beware, the reverse side also has a reverse side.
That is a good proverb.
Now, I'm going to let Sarah chat for the bulk of this since she was helping Cameron earlier. But I did want to say, Rev, that we met a long, long, long time ago back in Eugene, and through different festivals. And I always found myself very fortunate to have met you early in my career. But in the sense where watching you work, watching you interact with every attendee that wanted to come and say hi, watching how gracious you were sharing the stage with others, even me who was just starting out, at the time, and watching how thoughtful you were interacting with everyone. It really, again, there's these pivotal points in my career, in my life, that I'm really glad I was able to meet you when I did, and I think that definitely helped me really stay positive for a lot of it. And even as a performer, I always referred you to being one of the greatest performers I've ever seen live. Just how you were able to connect to people. It was the story. It really was all about the story. The music was just an added bonus. It really was you just felt so good walking out of your concert. So thank you so very much for sharing that with me and everyone else that you've been in front of. So thank you.
You're a sweetheart.
And I
Yeah.
also have to add
Well,
to that as well too, Rev, just that early in my career, I was able to meet you and I reached out to you for help. And you were so free and giving with just advice and contacts. And I will always be incredibly grateful for that. And because of that, whenever up and coming people talk to Craig and I, we are also always very open because you've got to start somewhere and we're all in this together.
yeah, totally. And I mean, I could go on all day about the people who, um, helped me early on, in my early 20s. Like,
Yeah.
um, just for example, I have a friend, I'll tell you a very short, quick little story. Um, I have a friend who, when I was in my 20s, was a professional folk singer, and he would go into the schools and teach kids about the history of Wisconsin and song and story. And so I wasn't really planning on making my living doing music. I just was kind of in between college and starting out
Mm-hmm.
teaching and things like that as a grade school teacher and stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh, Little Rev, you should play in nursing homes." He goes, "You know all those old songs. You should."
Ah.
Uh, and I was like, "Oh, I never even thought of that." He's like, "Yeah." He said they'd love you. So I
Aw.
started doing it. And then for about 7 years, I wound up, just kind of playing on the streets, playing in nursing homes, playing in coffee shops,
Wow.
just kind of building a reputation, a name, and learning my craft in Milwaukee, not
Yeah.
too far outside of Milwaukee. But um, that little tip made such a difference to me in terms of that I could make a living doing music. And um, that very same person recently sent me an email when Corona hit, and I made that post about losing all my
Yeah.
gigs, and uh, and that very same person said him and his wife had just inherited a whole bunch of money, and what they want to do is they want to make some of it available to some of their artist friends
Oh,
for no interest loans if times get really hard this year.
bless.
And even though I'm not going to need to take that loan, I just thought it was very, very sweet
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
all these years later, 25 years later, that same person who helped me out way back then is reaching
Wow.
out to say, "We're here for you. We got your back. Don't worry." And that makes a difference in this lifetime. When
Wow.
it gets to be the end of the road, whenever that is, you know, you want to have left a ripple, not like have been the schmuck. And there's very few schmucks in the ukulele world. There are
Yes.
very few schmucks, but there's a few out there. And so it's yin and yang of life.
Yeah.
There's always a few, but the uke world is predominantly filled with goodness.
Yes. Absolutely. That's amazing. That's so special. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
You're
Now,
welcome.
do you want to give folks a little bit of a preview of what you'll be doing?
Wait, by
And
the way, is that a
oh,
5 string?
oh yeah.
Say that again.
Is that a 5 string ukulele?
Yeah, so this is my kanile,
Ooh.
a 5 string. It's got a western red cedar, and mixed with all the other making trappings of knocking myself out here, of a good ukulele, and got the slotted peg head, and the cool bracing in there and everything, and it's got the double sound hole port, and it was really inspired by Willie G's ukulele, with a few modifications, and uh, yeah, I just like that extra bite, especially,
Nice.
all of us are on this trajectory of what can I do in my evolution as an artist to improve where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, like the last 2 years for me, it's been, really improve my ability to do more campanella style and finger style playing. And after years of making my focus, triple strum hand technique, like mastering all the good vaudeville strum hand technique, and single string stuff for blues. These days, my main focus is developing my finger style abilities. And so there's a never ending curve for
Yeah.
learning and wanting to improve and grow
Yep.
That's so
with
true.
what you're doing. So 5 string really makes it nice, whether I'm doing You know, a little bit of just kind of pattern playing, whenever I might be playing, that extra, you know,
Yeah,
the
nice.
octave difference between the high and the low G on there really gives me a little something to bite into. And I
Yeah.
can see myself even going to like an 8 string, you know, like
Ooh.
Ooh,
Casey McGill style or something like that. I really like the
fun.
fuller sound,
Yeah,
especially for finger picking, you know,
Nice.
especially,
that's
you know,
awesome.
so. But as far as the mini fest, I'm going to be teaching triple strum, which is kind of a specialty of mine because I teach about 6 different triplets and just kind of do a survey. But after like, you know, 15, 20 years of doing this, I have this down to a science.
Nice.
Typically, what I'll do in a triplet class is I'll teach a handful of triplets and I'll tell my students, this isn't about finding, you know, having the ability to play multiple triplets. The only reason why I teach multiple ways is because as a grade school music teacher, many of my students learn differently from one another. So I was not a big fan of standardized testing, if you catch my drift.
Mm-hmm.
And so when one can teach on multiple planes, it broadens the opportunity for the student to be able to grasp something rather than when it's presented in monotone. And and so that's why I'll often teach multiple ways to do triplets. But for the mini fest, I'm paring it down, given the time frame, and people have lots of other opportunities to follow through with me, um, to find out more about all these other ways of doing it. And I think I said I was going to be teaching the 2 finger triplet, which is one that leaves out the thumb. And a lot of people where thumb picks will use this one because then they don't have to uh, worry about using the thumb to brush the way a standard triplet would with the finger and thumb, or 2 fingers and the thumb. Also, one of my heroes, Bob Brosman of California, he was a big proponent of the 2 finger triplet. And so I like to give credit where credit is due. And I think I took it, and like all these years later, it's totally become my own signature kind of triplet. And that's my favorite one to teach. It's really easy, and you can get a real smooth, uh, you know, triple feel with that. When you use the thumb,
Yeah.
no matter how good you get it, the thumb always feels like it's kind of dragging behind a little bit. When you leave the thumb out, it's like a galloping horse, and it's fluid and smooth, and it's what I think I heard
Nice.
when I was listening to those old 78s from the 20s in the vaudeville era, because you know, chord style melodies of Ain't She Sweet and 5'2" and things like that, there just was no separation. It was so fluid when you listen to those old time triplets, and that's why I love that 2 finger triplet. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm gonna you know, be sharing with everybody. So
That's awesome. That's going to be so cool. And I love that too, because of our format, people are going to be able to get together with you afterward, especially if they're wanting to learn more from you, because we know you teach Skype and FaceTime. And I think, do you do Zoom also?
yeah, actually, you know, the ads that I've been running when the Corona hit was, I just put out Little Revs available for Skype lessons because I felt like everybody knew what that was. But as it's turned out, you know, thus far I've been using Zoom almost exclusively
Oh,
now.
wow.
Nobody's asked to work on Skype for lessons with me, but um, so I end up using a lot of Zoom, and I'm learning a lot about Zoom too because I'm trying to do like ukulele club jams with it, and Nani Lowry and other people like that have included me in some of their group jams, and
Awesome.
just trying to see what the potential of interaction is online, as you guys are doing, you
Yeah.
know, to bring people together, and what's the most fluid and seamless way to do it. Because Neanderthal, you know, my wife Jenna, she's the behind the scenes person who you know, does a lot of the tech stuff, so that I don't have to think about it. You know, I can just sit down and concentrate on whatever I'm going to do. And but I'm a techno gimp, and I know Craig's a techie, so I hope
Yes.
Craig won't think any less of me now.
Oh, he will never think less of you. But definitely, and I meant to say this earlier, please give our love to Jenna and Mariella. I love getting to see your posts. I see that Mariella's been playing more music, which is really exciting.
Yeah, she finally hit that place. You remember that place where all you wanted to do was play when you were really
Yes.
young?
Yes.
And I was like 12 or 13, and my sister took up guitar, and she didn't stay with it. And
Mm.
pretty soon there was a guitar just sitting around the house, and
Ah,
and the strings were like 6 inches off the fretboard.
wow.
And so I took my paper out money and I bought an electric guitar, and that was the start of it. But I wanted to play every day. And then when I took up harmonica at about 15 or 16, I couldn't wait to get home from school so I could listen to records and try and cop licks.
Cool.
And so now Mariella's starting to get to that point right now where she wants to pick up her uke all the time. She's infatuated
Nice.
with the Beatles, and
Awesome.
so she's writing really cool, sophisticated songs. She
Nice.
wrote a song the other day, with like a C minor seventh that really impressed me the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, I showed her C A minor F and G, the doo-wop chord progression.
Yep.
I challenged her to write a song,
Yeah.
and she wound up going way beyond it. So, um,
Wow.
she's doing all kinds of cool stuff and just strumming through the daily ukulele, mostly Beatles
Yeah.
songs and stuff, and learning a lot. And
That's
just
so
the other
cool.
day for homeschooling, she came in the kitchen, said I wrote a song, and she had all the words written out. She had the chords
Wow.
written above the words, and she had all the chord grids drawn out above at the top of the page, which I was like, whoa, she's been looking, she's been watching, she's been learning
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
even before she took up the uke, because she's seeing she presented what we're all using all the
Yeah.
time in a way that 11-year-old, I was impressed. But
Yeah.
we all think our kids are the greatest. No kids ever talk. We all think your kid's the greatest. My
Yes.
kid's the greatest.
Yes. Yeah, we're getting to learn that feeling right now. That's so cool. That's how fantastic to get to share the gift of music with her. That's so awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a real blessing, as you guys know. And
Yes.
and mazel tov for you guys that you get to be parents.
Thank you.
I was hoping for that for you
Thank you.
guys.
Yes, we were too, and I feel really fortunate that it was able to happen. And our little guy is currently napping, so luckily he is staying down. Oh, I think he might be opening his eyes. I'm looking at the monitor, but he's doing all right.
And
So
now,
thank
Rev,
you.
just for people to be able to, what is the easiest way to stay up to date with all of the things that you're going to be offering?
In terms of what I've got coming up
Yep.
on my schedule, you
Yep.
mean? Uh, well, there's a lot going on, and some of my ukulele professional friends, we've all been joking about how we're busier now than we were
Yeah.
before Corona. And um, but so here's the deal. Um, there's a local library in Sheboygan where I live, and when Corona hit, I consider this to be the best library in the country, and it's called Mead Library. And I was teaching out of there pretty regularly. They were keeping me very busy, and there was a growing ukulele club here in town that was just booming. And so when the Corona came, um, I suggested, why don't we stream these classes that you guys canceled on me? And they said, well, sure, that would be great. We need some content.
Hmm.
And so it's been working out really good. I've been averaging well over 100 people on the night of the class, Mondays and Thursdays,
Nice.
a Mead Library Facebook page, and it's been working out good. So that's going to keep me busy till the end of May. Every Monday and Thursday there'll be a different class. Um, like this coming Monday is teaching pattern plan, and last week I was teaching slurring and sliding your chords, and it's a different theme every night. And I am playing for tips, and people have been very generous. And uh, and then I've been coupling that with once a week. I've been doing a concert on my Facebook page, also with a different theme. So one night I did blues uke, another night I did clawhammer uke. I'm going to be presenting one-man shows about the history of Tin Pan Alley,
Oh,
um,
wow.
and that'll be coming up in May. So people, I would say follow me on Facebook as Mark Revinson or Little Rev, and that's the best way right now. But everything's at littlerev.com
Perfect.
as well, and people can find out what I'm doing there. And you know, it's just a whole new world, being doing all this stuff online
Yeah.
and not having to get in the car and drive all over the country, which I love. But
Yeah.
I love being home with my family, and we
Yeah.
got the garden and um, being in our backyard and working on our house and just being home is also, you know, when you don't have a choice, you might as well be happy about it. So,
No, that's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. And again, thank you for helping us, for inspiring us to create these little mini fests during this time. And you know, all the support and that you've given us throughout the years. Thank you so incredibly much.
oh, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. Like my song says, I love you like a ukulele.
All right, and thank you for spending some time with us today. Again, guys, please check out lowrev.com and find him on Facebook. He's doing a ton of great stuff. We can't wait to see you on May 2nd. Um, and Rev, definitely thank you again for taking the time today to check in with us and do a little tech rehearsal.
Oh, no problem. You guys be well, stay healthy, and give the little one a squeeze, okay?
Will do. Thanks, Rev. We'll
All
see you
right.
soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Awesome. Bye, Rev.
Such a great guy.
I love him. Anytime I speak with him, my heart just always becomes so much warmer, and I can't help but smile. Just the one of the most kind people I've ever met in my life. So I feel so incredibly lucky. And I'm actually really bummed. We were supposed to do a gig actually with him and Gerald Ross, another awesome, awesome player and teacher. And I was really looking forward to Cameron getting to meet,
Yeah, that was gonna be a fun
Uncle
one.
Rev and Uncle Gerald. But unfortunately, it has been postponed. So we'll all get together soon, I'm sure. So little Cameron just woke up from his nap, so he's doing pretty great. I'll see if I can turn him around for everybody. He doesn't mind. Luckily, he doesn't seem to mind the bright lights, do you? Watch out, Bubba. Watch out, buddy. Say hi, everybody. I just woke up from a nap.
Now, before we go, are there any questions we can get to? And there's still our three big announcements for
Yes.
our big announcement for our last three artists that we're unveiling today for our May 2nd gig.
Yes.
Let's see.
Is it time to say who they are yet? Can we say yet? Dun dun dun.
Yeah, and Betsy, that was part of the reason too we wanted to hold a big festival to help put everything into one place for once a month kind of a thing, and just to be able to have a nice kind of program to go through, because there was so much going on too, which is great.
is.
But again, it's even more squirrels to to chase down. Actually, let me put myself in a little.
Oh yes, picture in picture. But yeah. And I love that, with the uke community has really come together, and there's always something that you can go check out in order to kind of help you feel even better. Oh, what's the software used for the iPad?
Notability. Notability is one of my favorite apps. Okay, real quick. I'm gonna do this real quick. Again, I can't express how much I love this app for teaching. So one of the things that you do have to buy the upgraded version or unlockable thing for, like, I think it's cheap. But one of the great things, it has that auto snap to the grid, and again, when you print things out, you can take off the paper or the grids, so that it's just the paper. But it also has that auto snap for shapes as well. Being able to move things around and duplicate things are incredibly easy. So let's say, I wanted to duplicate this tiny little box here. Oh, I missed the line. That's okay. This is a
And
little
the
bit
name of the app one more time is
Notability.
Notability.
But I can get my scissors, and I could do. Oh, I want to erase certain lines. That line. Oh, maybe. Oh no, erase. That's what I was trying to do. I can erase certain lines. Um, I can copy certain elements or the whole shebang. I could just go to duplicate and snap to the grid. I mean, so there's a lot of, just kind of going through things really quickly. We use this for our Christmas album,
Yes.
for the box charts. Um, and so it's just, it was really easy and fun to use. Everything can be moved around, copy pasted, but we couldn't get enough of these guys. You can import image files as well. So yeah, that's notability. The stylus, so iPad with the Apple Pencil is what I'm using.
For us, we've tried other styluses, and we like the Apple Pencil the best on the iPad. It works the best, and it's for us. It's just the best one.
Yes, you can import PDFs and do things on top of that as a layer. So it is very, very, very versatile.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've really enjoyed using it for these live streams so that we can have a whiteboard, because Craig and I love doing things on the fly. And so it's great when somebody asks a question, we can quickly go in and write in things, and I think that that's really important, especially for when you're doing something live, because you never know. Some people ask some really great questions, and we want to be able to answer them to the best of our abilities.
Okay, so for our big announcement,
Yes.
our last 3 artists that will be joining us, we're going to have a combination of 2 of them.
Yes.
They'll be doing a special performance for us.
Oh, do you want me to make the announcement? I'm so sorry. It's going to be
yeah.
Kale Gamyao and Corey Fujimoto. Woo!
So they'll be doing a very special performance, and they'll have some announcements to say
Yes.
too. And our last artist that will be joining us, that will be doing...
Baby feet drum roll.
Is he doing a lesson and a...
He's doing a lesson and actually a couple of performance songs as well. Mr. James Hill will be
Yes.
joining us.
So we are very excited to have those 3 joining us. It's going to be such a great time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yay.
Yeah, so lots of fun. It's again, there's so many reasons why we're putting this on. One is, again, to come together as a community to give thanks to the ukulele world that have given us so much. 2 is to help support artists who are going through a really rough time right now. 3 is to help introduce you to new artists that you might not have heard of, or take lessons from people you've never been able to see live. But as of now, we want to say a special thank you to some of the vendor, the festival sponsors who will actually be helping put some money in artists' pockets as well for this.
Yes.
But again, for those of you who donated in the last festival, thank you so much. We'll have the new artist's bio and donation links up and running soon.
Hopefully, I'm hoping to be able to work some on it this weekend. I may not have everyone's links up, but I am going to do my best to get as many of them up as possible. So, because you can start donating to the individual artists as soon as we have the virtual merch table up. And so our festival is going to be craigandsarah.com/minifest. There will be a button that is the artists' merch area. You can click on that button. It'll take you to all of the artists, and we're going to have the ones for Minifest number 2 up top. But if you wanted to check out the artists from the first one, just scroll down, and I still have everybody's information there as well. But you'll be able to donate to individual artists if they've given us tip links. We will put all of that up, and I will hopefully have most of them running by this weekend. I'm hoping to have all of them. I'm still waiting for a little bit of info from just a handful of folks, but we'll be continually updating it. And the festival packet will also be available hopefully Monday or Tuesday before the event, but we will send out a note to our email list first saying the packet is ready to be downloaded. And we'll also post on Facebook too. So if you're friends with us or fans of us on Facebook, you'll find out that way, or you can just join our mailing list.
And
it's super easy.
David, how will they know the donations came from your website? It goes straight to their PayPal or Venmo. You could write something in the comments when you donate, but
Yes.
for the most part, all the artists so far from the first fest have reported significant increases bumps in their online sales and donations during that day and after. So,
Yeah.
we've been very fortunate to have you guys help out in any way possible. And sometimes it's we know not everyone can afford to donate at this time.
Yeah.
That's the truth. So if you can, that's wonderful. If you can't, even just sharing their music that you've enjoyed on your Facebook or help pushing in that way, it all
Yeah.
helps. So thank you guys so very, very much.
Yes.
Okay. Oh,
Awesome.
cute.
Yeah. We love reading all of your comments. Thank you guys so much for being so interactive with us.
All right. I think that's it for today. We're
Yeah.
gonna feed the baby in a little bit.
Yes. feed Mr. Mini Chee.
And thank you guys again for well, David, I mean it you know we're doing this to help, and there is a small donation button for us as well that you know people have been very generous with, but for the most part it's we realized that not everyone was set up with the camera gear and all this kind of stuff that we've invested in over the past years, and this is our way of really helping our friends
Yes.
who just need a little help, need a little bump, and it's been our absolute pleasure to help with that. And to be honest, the feeling that we had after last week's festival, it felt just like we were at a physical festival with our friends, and we were exhausted, but it was that feeling of like you did good.
Yeah.
We just were so happy. I mean, we didn't even sleep until we checked in with every artist just to see if they did get a significant bump. And everyone reported back with
Yeah.
people that were just blown away by the generosity of others.
Yes.
So we are just incredibly happy to be
Yes.
able to help where we can. And like I said, this will probably, at least for this year, be the last festival that we put on in this format.
Yes.
We'll definitely do some smaller, more focused events.
Yes.
But while we had everyone at home during this time, we figured this is the best way to get this amount of artists together. Let's try our best to
Yes.
go through it.
Yes. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We've had a wonderful time with you. We're going to do the sound check again, same bat time, same bat channel, this next Saturday, and then after that it'll be the big day. So we look forward to seeing you guys either next Saturday or
Yes.
the Saturday
Thank
after.
you guys for coming out to our
Yes.
tech rehearsal. We'll see you guys soon.
Aloha.
Also,
Yes.
Thursdays? Is it Thursdays? Thursdays, there is a new panel discussion live stream that we've been a part of. We had our first one 2 days ago. The panel includes Jake Shimabukuro, Brian Tolentino, Herbolta Jr., Holly Haku Seaberry,
David Kamakahi.
David Kamakahi.
So many great folks.
An incredible panel. Brittany Paiva from Hawaii that we've been so lucky to be included, a part of. If you go to Facebook and look up Ukulele Friends Hawaii, that's where you're going to find where we're doing that live stream panel every Thursday. And it's just talking story, talking through our experiences in the industry, and especially with those great minds is always a lot of trouble.
Yes, it's a lot of fun. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. It's been awesome. Maybe we'll see you Thursday or we'll see you on either Saturdays.
Aloha.
Aloha.